See that? That little white bar? That is contested health. And filling that bar is how you stay alive in Space Marine 2. See this? That's how you stay alive in Space Marine 1. And today, I'm going to show you how to turn this into this. Alright, in order to start modding Space Marine 2, we have to first go into the game's files. So, we're going to come over here, into the library, we're going to right click on Space Marine 2, we're going to go to manage, and we're going to go browse local files. It's going to open up a window in your file explorer, and there we go. In here you can see that we've got the spacemarine2.exe, which is the game file, we've got the protected game file for the EOS stuff, we've got the ini file, and we've got the anti-cheat. And the two folders that we want to focus on are right here, client PC and server PC. This mod is going to have things in both of these folders, but it's pretty much just one file. So we're going to start in client PC, and we're going to go to client PC, root, packs, client, default, and we're going to go down here and we're going to find default other pack. We're going to double click it. Now, in order to edit the files of Space Marine 2, you're going to need a tool like Winrar, and I'll put a link in the description below to Winrar just for this tutorial. Once you have Winrar installed, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure you're in this folder. So you're going to see all these folders here, and you're going to come up here to this button, Find. You're going to leave the asterisk in the File Names to Find slot, and you come down here to String. We're going to look for, by keyword, we're going to look for Restoring. Alright, it's going to bring up a couple files here, alright, but the one that we are concerned about should be at the top here, and we want to look for this file path, SSL damage, damageable, damage points, restoring, damageable health, restoring library, PvE, not PvP or story mode, .sso. You can access it just by double clicking here, and it'll also open it in this window over here. To edit this file, you will need a text editor. You can use the built-in notepad that comes with Windows, or you can download Visual Studio Code, which is what I'm using. I will also leave a link in the description to that. Once you do that, and you have the file open, we want to hit Command or Control F, which brings up this little box up here. It's the Find and Replace box. We're going to type the word Finisher, and it's going to bring up automatically the first preset. If it doesn't bring up the first preset and it says a different number up here, just click these arrows enough until you find the first one. Alright, we're going to look for Finisher presets. That's right here. The way that Space Marine 2 calculates this type of stuff is each enemy has a different type. Alright, for example, Tyranid warriors are an elite enemy. They're the larger enemy type, but they're not like a boss. They're just like a regular big guy. Right, so they're an elite enemy. Something like a Hormagaunt or a Termagaunt will be a common enemy because it is a tiny little guy and there's lots of them, and they don't have very much health or do anything. Something like a Lictor or a Ravener will be a special. And then down here we have things like the Carnifex and the Neurothrope, which spawn as mini bosses, which is why they're given the mini-boss name. I'm pretty certain that this boss tag is only applicable to the Helldrake and the Hive Tyrant, but I'm not entirely certain. But we're going to leave that as it is for now. Down here, we have fodder, and fodder enemy types we're not going to touch at all, because these are like spore mines and barbed wire, or whatever, the barbed strangler that the Tyranids shoot. That's what the fodder is, and you can't execute those, so there's no point in editing this file. So let's take a look here at the common file here, this little section of code. Alright, all we want to do is worry about the fact that we're looking at a common enemy and editing these 4 lines. We don't need to worry about anything below this at all, just these 4 lines. Health restoring percent, I'm actually not sure what that does, but health regen percent by kill will make sure that when you kill someone, specifically in a finisher, so in an execution, when you kill someone, when you kill a Termagaunt in an execution, you will get a certain amount of health back. Not contested health, but like real health back. And right now it's set to 0 because they don't want you doing that because they're lame and they don't want you to have fun. But we're going to change that. So we're going to change this to 10. Alright, and what this means is it's going to give us 10% of 100% of our health. So if we have 100 health points, it'll give us 10 health back every time we execute an enemy. And you can change that to whatever you want. If you want it to give 100% of your health back or 50% of your health back, it doesn't matter. I'm going to make it 10 because I'm going to change the values and make them different for each enemy so that it's more balanced, so we don't have this crazy power indifference. If we come down one line, we have is armor regen by segments, and that is a true or false value. If I set this value to false, it would mean that whatever this value down here would be, like I could change this to 50 and it would fill up half of a bar instead of a full bar, right? Whereas if I had this set to true, I'm pretty sure that it would fill up a whole bar regardless, right? If you do that, make sure that you capitalize the F in false, otherwise it will not work. But we're going to change this value to true, and we're going to come down here and we're going to say that we want a common enemy when we kill them. So a Tormagant, a Hormagant, or I think one of those, the Zangors. I think those are common enemies. They might be elites, but I'm pretty sure they're common enemies. We want those guys to give us back 1 armor bar. Alright, to do that, we're going to do 100. 100 would be 1 bar, 200 would be 2 bars, 300 would be 3 bars, and 400 would be 4 bars, etc. We want them to give back 1 armor bar, so we're going to set it to 100. And now we are done editing the common enemy type. Alright, I'm going to go through and I'm going to change the values for these other enemies, and I'll do a time lapse so you don't see a weird jump cut. Now I've finished editing all the values for the different enemy types. We have common set up to give you 10% of your health back and a 1 bar of armor. We have an elite enemy set to give back 20% of your health and 2 bars of armor. A special to give back 30% and 3 bars of armor. And a mini boss to give you 100% of your health back and restore 4 bars of armor. It won't actually register 4 bars of armor unless you edit a different file that makes it say that you can have 4 bars of armor, but I'm not going to show you how to do that today. We can either change this back to 300 or we can keep it at 400 and it will just give you 3 bars. We're going to select starting from the beginning of the word common and going all the way down to this bracket here, so the second to last bracket, right underneath type equals damage points restoring finisher settings, underneath fodder, and we're going to go back into our directory and open up the server PC folder. Alright, so we're going to go into here, right, into the same path, and we're going to find default other pack, and we're going to open it with Winrar, and then we're going to do a search for restoring, and we're going to find damage health restoring library PvE. We're going to open it. We're going to find the first instance of the word finisher so that we can find where we want to edit. And now we're down here in finisher presets. Whoa, what did I just do? And we are going to select from here common all the way down to this bracket, and we're going to just paste it. Alright, and now we're going to double check and make sure this is set to 10 and 100, 20, 200, 30, 300, and so on. And make sure that it just lines up with this over here. 10, 100, 20, 200, 30, 300. Alright, we're good. Now, we want to click File, Save, come over to here, File, Save, and we're done with this window. We can completely close it. We don't need it anymore. When we come back here, it's going to have these 2 Winrar pages open, and it's going to have this thing that asks you if you want to update the archive. You're going to say yes, and now you can close this window. When you come here, you can click yes on the other window, and then you can close that window. The way the Space Marine 2's files work is Space Marine 2 generates a pack file, alright? And it generates a cache file of the same name in order to read the pack file. But if we change the pack file, which is what we just did, the cache file is no longer up to date. Making these cache files is very difficult. However, we luckily have our own tool over here called Pakcacher that does it for us. And all we need to do is delete the previous already existing cache and drag this onto the exe. It'll open this window. As soon as it says completed processing, you can close it, and then if we scroll down, here is default other pad cache, and it's down there, and if we reload, it'll come back up here underneath here because it's alphabetical. And now all we have to do is go back to this file here and go into client, root, packs, client, default, find default other pack, delete the cache for it, and drag it over to Pakcacher, and then close it. You can reload. The cache is there. As long as the cache is there, everything is good. You can close your file explorers, do whatever, and start the game. Once we get to this page here, we will have a little warning that says that the game files have been modified and the public online gameplay will be prohibited. That is unavoidable. You cannot turn that off. That is a developer thing implemented to stop us from messing with other players, but it's only public online play. You can still start a private match and get your friends in, or get people from a Discord server in and play with people that way. It works totally fine. And a side note, if you did not get that message after modifying the files and you just started and got the little Aquila loading bar, something is wrong, and you should go back and follow the tutorial again, because you have miscached a file or written a line of code wrong. Maybe there's a bracket missing or something. But if it gets stuck and never loads and you don't see the modded game file message, it means something is wrong, and you need to go back and fix it. Alright, now that we are actually in an operation, this is going to be a little laggy because my laptop's not the best, and it's even worse while it's trying to record something. We should see, let's see if we can get this guy to hit us. Get out of here. He has a sniper cannon, so that's good. Hit me. Should take out my armor, and then we should get our contested. Let's get our health down a little bit. Alright. Oh well, the enemies are gone now. Hey, you, over here. Come here. Come hit me. Come on, hit me. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna try and kill this guy now quick. Alright, we're gonna execute him. It'll give us our armor back, 2 bars, and it gave us more than just our contested health back. So you can see that it restored our contested health, and then on top of our contested health, it gave us 10% of our regular health back. So it does both of the things. It does both the default stuff and the new applied stuff. If we get damaged here, now we have no more armor. Now I'm gonna go to town on this fool. He dodge. Oh, ouch. Contested health is gonna come back. We're also gonna get more health, and we're gonna get 2 bars of armor. Let's see if I can get it shown so we don't have contested health. Okay. Alright, I gotta run. Oh, shoot. Okay, now we don't have any contested health at all, or armor. So I'm gonna come and I'm gonna kill this guy over here. We're gonna get 2 armor bars and a little bit of health back. Even though we don't have any contested health, we're gonna get 2 armor bars and a little bit of contested health. So, I hope that was informative. I hope that it worked for you, and I wish you all to have a nice day. If you or someone you know is interested in making mods for Space Marine 2, you have 2 options. One is to rummage around in the files for days on end and throw stuff at the wall to see what sticks. The other, and the way that I would suggest, is to join the Space Marine 2 modding Discord server. There are a ton of modders in there just like myself, ready, willing, and able to help you learn and create your own mods. It's free advice, mostly, and a great starting point if you're looking to mod. I'll put a link in the description below.